All right, 3, 2, 9. Hey, welcome to the Jaysquared podcast and the Popcorn podcast.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, I'm Jasoma,
I'm J-Rock.
and we obviously have a super special chapter for you guys today. We are definitely joined by the Popcorn podcast, and we're gonna go over a couple of things rounding out the end of the year. Anything special you want to say, J Rock?
Nope.
As always.
Boom, just pulled the rug out from under you.
Every single time.
Just left him
you guys,
hanging.
you guys honestly don't understand that.
I do it on purpose.
This is genuinely like how 99.8% of the interactions go. And then when other people are on, they're like, well, why does she not like him? And I'm like, no.
Brutal.
It's tough love. It's tough love.
Yeah, we
You'll
can
be
get like
fine.
that too sometimes, can't we?
We can. It keeps it spicy, keeps it salty.
spicy, yeah.
Wouldn't it be boring if we just like, liked each other?
To a certain extent.
We met pretty much. Our podcast kind of like collided through our manager Allison. I think that she reached out to you guys. We really love your content. We really do see that you guys are out here just doing the work. Been out for quite a bit, and we have so many similar interests. And we're like, dude, we got to collab. And you guys are all the way like in Australia,
Yeah.
and it's insane for us. It's like I believe it's our first like
International.
and I think
That's
we've had some
exciting.
like international, but like way
this is
across.
legit.
That's
We're probably the
it's our
furthest away.
first time.
We couldn't
Yeah,
be more far away.
100%.
Yeah. But
Hello,
we
hello,
definitely
hello.
it just echoes.
To send a message in a bottle through the ocean.
Yeah, that's it. That's how we communicate.
So we did break this down into a couple of segments and wanted to get some in-depth conversations about your takes on certain movies and whatnot. So we have our own question. Then we're going to throw it back to you guys to go ahead and ask your question. Then we have a question that we both kind of agreed on. So our question is, how much do you think a good actor could affect a bad script? You guys take it away.
I guess it depends what you mean by affect a bad script.
Yeah.
I don't think a good actor can magically change a movie into being like good overall, because so many things go into making a movie. Like it's never on one person's shoulders. It's never just the writer. It's never just the director. It's never just the filmmaker, like the actors. It's everyone working together. And we see so many times that so many films can have such promise, can have really great actors, can have a really great director behind, and just not
Fizzle
land.
out. We always say that it's a miracle that films ever get made in the first place, and then it's like divine intervention that they're actually any good.
Yeah.
Because there's so many moving pieces, so many parts to make a film hopefully great, which is everyone's intention when they come together to create art. Is, day one on set is not, okay guys, we're going to make a subpar film here, you all in.
Everyone's there to
go.
do a
Right.
good job.
Yeah.
But I think, a fantastic actor can definitely distract you from how bad the script is. Tim, you had some examples, didn't you? You wanted to talk about?
I said like good actors with bad scripts can still win Oscars or at least get nominated. One example, and of course there are many, you've got Meryl Streep, who won an Oscar for The Iron Lady, which the film was fine. She was extraordinary playing Margaret Thatcher, and she won an Oscar. And then another example of, Meryl Streep's illustrious career is you have Into the Woods, which was an adaptation of a Broadway musical, which has a lot of people on the fence whether it was any good or not. She still walked away with an Oscar nomination playing the witch in the film. So, a film cannot land, but an actor can, like Leigh said, can really elevate, people's experiences. And then those actors can go off and, go to award season and have a great time, although their movie was a bomb.
I think we've definitely seen that a lot too. It's like, if the actor stands out, or at least like you feel like everything else didn't matter because they played such a great role, the movie kind of ends up being like mid, not that bad as people were saying because of that one actor, but not as good as it should have been.
Another recent one, Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody. That film.
The story overall in that shied away from things it should have.
Yeah.
covered. But was the script bad in that one?
I think it was maybe the direction, perhaps maybe a bit more. Yeah.
I think a lot of it was flat. I mean, when I was watching, I think that there were some scenes where it's like that could have been a little bit more powerful. I could have used a little bit more, more storytelling throughout certain scenes. But it felt it. You're right. He did bring it home and make it a powerful
He was
experience.
amazing in it.
Yeah,
that's the problem with a lot of biopics, though, especially when people are still alive or people who love that person are still alive. I'm sure we're going to see it with the Madonna biopic where it can turn out to be just a fluff piece for them because they don't want to really
go there.
They don't really want to go there. They don't want to really examine their lives. And yeah, you see that all the time with biopics.
Well, didn't you? I haven't seen The Smashing Machine, but you have.
Yes.
Do you feel like that sort of plays into that territory? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Even though Dwayne Johnson is incredible.
Yeah, well, that's another example. Yeah, Dwayne Johnson is absolutely incredible in that film, and he'll absolutely get nominated for a bunch of awards. But the film itself was really a fluff piece for this wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to go
It
with.
is tough.
Oh, go ahead. You go first.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think that it might just be tough because I think that if they pass away, then it's kind of like you don't want to disrespect the dead or whatever it might be, even though you're telling a true story or you're telling the real story. It's like you don't want to disrespect the dead. And then if you and when they're alive, it's like I don't want you saying all of these terrible things about me. I see that a lot with Tupac or Biggie. Like whenever they try to make, a real story about them, everybody kind of gets a little bit upset because they're like, stop saying that Biggie hit his wife. And he's like, but he did. Like that's just kind of what happened. So it's just a little bit difficult.
The Michael Jackson biopic is going to be really
interesting. Yeah. Because we're a little unclear as to what period of his life, unless you know, I just haven't seen it. Like what period of his life that it covers, because there are things that he did in his life that were horrendous. And will they just stop it at Dangerous and not look any further past like 1991?
Well, there were some reshoots that had to happen because for legal reasons, that all the court case stuff with the
that's right,
child abuse. They were like, oh, this is murky waters. We can't really address this. And I think that's going to be a huge problem because it's a huge part of his life.
And I think with Jafar Jackson, his nephew, playing him, it really does blur the lines of like, it's in the family, for God's sake. Like, are they going to want to go there at all? I just find that casting really problematic.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting film for sure. I also think the Beatles, like the 4-part movie that they're going to drop, I think that's also going to be interesting to see like what aspect of it they take it. Like, do they focus on each Beatle for each movie, or are they just going to go through the whole years?
I think they are going to focus on each Beatle for each movie and kind of overlap somehow.
Will it be like the same film told from different perspectives, or will they use each of the Beatles to cover a different period?
Yeah,
and then where would you put Paul McCartney and John Lennon instrumental to certain pockets of their music and discography? It's like, how do you choose where to put Paul? Like his story is still going as well. Obviously they're not telling the Paul McCartney story, but yeah, it's such an interesting point.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to watch those movies though. I think it'll be interesting to see what they share.
There was this iconic, I say iconic in the worst ways. When I was thinking about like how can a good actor affect a bad script, it's so notorious. This movie, have you ever seen Movie 43?
Yes. But that's deliberately
Was that
bad,
like a comedy movie?
That was the comedy sketch. Like it was all little sketches put together. Yeah.
You had Kate Winslet and Hugh Jackman in a scene together, and you think, oh my gosh, these are some of the greatest actors who have ever lived. And it was one of the most painfully unfunny, wild films that I've ever seen. And you're thinking, the Rolodex of all these actors in this movie, like, did they read the script and find this funny? Like, no one could rescue that movie.
But also there were so many directors involved. Like there was a different director behind each skit as well. So it just tonally, it was all over the shop.
I think I watched like 30 minutes of that movie and then I was like, this isn't for me.
You're
I'm out.
smart. You're smart.
Yeah, she's good at that. I think that another movie that's happened specifically with J Rock with was the movie Him, because the acting, we agreed, like me and J Rock, we agreed, like the acting was great. I did like the movie, and she's like, but the movie's stupid. She pointed out a ton of flaws that were in the
Mm.
movie, and I might have just been like, I liked it, but she was just like, no, it's stupid, it's inconsistent. What about this? What about that? What about this? And I think that the acting might distract you like so much, and like J Rock said,
Yeah.
makes it, oh, okay, this is tolerable. It doesn't make it like over the top movie of the year, but it's gonna be like,
Mm.
okay, I can see where they were going with this, but it just doesn't quite hit the mark.
I found it interesting you used the word tolerable to describe a film that you've paid to go and see. And I admire that. It's like, they're not all meant to be Oppenheimer, sweeping awards and all those sorts of things. But yeah, I don't know whether it's like the critical lens that we bring to things. I think if a film is tolerable, it actually frustrates me more because
Mhm.
like it's not good enough. It's not terrible. It's just sort of middle
Yes.
ground.
They haven't taken a big swing.
I've felt like that for a couple movies this year so far, but Him was the one that stood out for me, where I walked out and I was like, so much potential wasted. Like it
Yeah.
could have been such a better movie had they gone a different direction, but then they just left you flat. And I was like,
Yeah.
well,
We-
I spend money on this.
We didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. And I mean, that's like the whole one of the points of like our podcast, which you're really
Mhm.
passionate about, is that we want to try and guide people to make decisions based on our opinions. Whether it's worth, digging into your wallet to go and pay
Mhm.
to see this
And
movie.
it's so expensive to go see movies these days. Like,
Yes.
I'm showing my
Yeah.
age, but there was a cinema down the street from me that the tickets used to be $5.
Oh God.
Oh my
I
god.
wished.
Oh my God.
I mean, even when the big
$8
cinema
was the
chains would come,
cheapest.
this was like a privately owned one, so they
Uh,
could keep the prices low, and that was why they were popular. But yeah, now these days it's really expensive.
It's insane. And if you go to see IMAX or 3D or
Yeah.
4DX,
My god,
yeah.
never
or
again.
reclining
Yo,
seats.
when I went to visit her in North Carolina, and I'm gonna have to take out a loan to go ahead and see as many movies as she does. She's like, we need to have the IMAX experience. We need to get the food. We need to do. I'm like, I'm sneaking hot dogs. I'm getting some chicken or
Yeah.
something, putting it in a purse. I'm like,
It's going to be a
IMAX is
really special
expensive.
movie to do like gold class.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yes, and it sucked because
We even
like
took blankets.
we took blank, like we made it an experience, but I was like, how do you keep doing this? And she's like, I ain't got nothing else to spend the money on, so she could really invest in these movies. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm tapped out.
Well, hopefully the film that you watched that you needed to, remortgage wasn't just tolerable for you.
It
Hopefully,
was Fantastic
was,
Four.
okay.
It was
It was a
fantastic,
good one.
and that was definitely worth it. I mean,
That's a good one to see
refinancing
on
alone
IMAX.
is
I agree. It's a spectacle of it all.
Mhm.
I mean, like with
Yeah.
the Avatar, Fire and Ash,
Mhm.
we'll be going to IMAX to see that.
Yeah.
For sure. It's almost like you're not experiencing the film how it's intended if you don't watch it on the biggest screen. But yeah,
Yeah.
you do
Or
have
how it
you
was
do have to
filmed.
dig deep. Yeah, exactly.
Do you
That's what I did
guys?
with Sinners.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's
I
a
was like,
big
I have to
screen
watch
film.
this in IMAX.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
No, that was a good one, because it's like the shifts and all of the, it's just everything about the movie is so surrounded by music and so surrounded by cinematography and so surrounded by, just those little tiny details that are enhanced by IMAX. I could see why, the experience would just overall be like 10 times better if you watch it in IMAX. I should have, but I didn't, but I definitely should have.
I
You
You
didn't
want
tell
a
me about
comfortable
it.
experience, especially with how long films are these days.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
And it's all about the positioning. If you've got a big fuck off screen like IMAX in front of you, you don't want to be front row to that bad boy because
Oh no.
because then
You're
you've
like,
got the
Then you got to pay
yeah,
for the chiropractor.
chiropractor, yeah.
mhm, mhm.
And it
That's when it
becomes
hurts.
it becomes a memorable experience for a completely different reason.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my god, you're telling me. Not doing IMAX. like, like it's that last time we were like, we're gonna do it for him. Like we're gonna go to IMAX for the movie Him. And the thing is that
Mm-mm.
I live in a very I'm gonna say run down countryside of Georgia. So it's like, and I'm not used to it, of course, but when we went to the movie theaters, like we're like, we're gonna get IMAX. We got IMAX, like the seats didn't recline. They were like peeling because it wasn't real leather. It was,
Oh,
and then the sound quality wasn't really that good. And we were just like, all right, so you guys got me. You guys got me. All right. I see the
That's
game.
rough. I didn't even know that.
I'm gonna have to fly out to go ahead and watch movies now.
Add a plane ticket to the cost.
yeah. Whatever it takes.
Mortgage, plane.
Yeah.
Oh god.
All right, so gonna pass it over to you guys, so you could ask your question.
Yeah, we had a good segue there, didn't we? The length of movies.
Yeah.
Are movies
Mhm.
too long
Mhm.
these days?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
You jump
okay.
in.
You go
Smooth,
first,
smooth.
Jay.
All right. I mean, I think movies, there was a period in time where they were getting super long and unnecessarily. Uh I kind of think back to like like you guys mentioned Avatar. Like when the first
Mm,
Avatar came out, like how it was an extremely long,
Mm.
movie. But I didn't feel like it was that long because you're kind of enjoying yourself. And then you look at a movie like Sinners, and Sinners was a long movie, but it didn't feel that long because again, you're enjoying yourself. So I don't think that they are, as long as they're entertaining, and I've been entertained so far. So I can't say that they aren't getting too long. What about you, Jera?
I have a different take for this. I
Oh, here
think
we go.
it. Yeah,
Every
I
time,
think.
bro.
I think it depends on the storytelling. Like if
Yes.
you need 2 hours or 2 hours and a half to tell a story that's actually gonna make sense or impact you, yes. Like Sinners is a great movie for that, where you needed it to be 2 hours, 3 hours just for them to get through each phase of the movie. Because like how it starts off to the ending, where you realize like it's actually a vampire movie mixed with
yeah.
music, like all of that building up to it is necessary. But then there are movies where it's like 2 3 hours long, and you're like, oh my god, when is this gonna end? Like I'm
Mm.
so over the script, like I'm over the plot, the
You're
writing.
not
Yeah.
invested.
Um,
Yeah.
A
yeah.
a
So
recent
like,
example of that for us is Eddington, I think,
Yeah.
where it could have ended 20
mm,
minutes before it did.
Yeah.
And there's almost like an epilogue to the film where you're like,
Did we need
did
that?
we need that? No, we
Yeah.
didn't.
What did it
yeah.
add? Yeah.
But then again, you get a film like the Avatar films
Mm.
or like Avengers Endgame, and it's a big
Yeah.
spectacle, like epic
Mhm.
saga. It's like wrapping up a massive, massive story.
Mm.
And yeah, you do need that long sometimes to tell that story.
Mm.
There's some filmmakers I think that just get a bit indulgent and don't kill their darlings, as I
Yeah.
like to say, which is
Hmm.
I
they
like
don't have
that.
someone saying you don't need this.
Yeah.
Like,
For all that he did terribly and that we don't talk about him, there was an interesting uh, word to describe Harvey Weinstein as Scissorhands.
Mhm.
He was obviously
Hmm.
a very I was about to say hands-on
horrendous
producer.
person.
He was a horrendous person, but he was very involved. He was very involved in the films that he produced. And
Mhm.
he would ensure that he would control his directors and cut films down because I guess he understood the audience retention and the
Hmm.
rest of it,
Yes.
and not let the directors take reins. So, to your point about, these auteur directors like Ari Aster, and then you even have like Judd Apatow, whose comedies go for more than 2 hours, and a comedy should never go for that
No.
long.
No.
And it's like,
Yeah,
who's reeling them
never.
in? Who is the scissor
Yeah.
hands of today, making sure we're keeping things in check? It's such a divisive topic, I think.
And it's funny that it's going,
Yeah.
it seems recently films are getting longer as a general rule,
Mm,
whereas our attention spans are shortening as a general
Shorter.
rule. Like
yeah.
in this attention
Yeah.
economy where like TikTok reels and streaming is king,
Mm,
people just don't have the attention span.
yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
you're thinking about like, as I saw this meme of the is it the Duffer Brothers who do Stranger Things, and all this talk
Yes.
about how long each of the episodes of the upcoming 5th season is. And someone's like, movies. They want to make movies. They're making TV, but they actually want to make movies. They're in the wrong medium. It's just such an interesting thing. You mentioned James Cameron before, and when Avatar: The Way of Water came out in 2022, and that had a 3 hour and 12-minute runtime, and everyone was losing their fucking minds. He said, I don't want anybody whining about length when they sit and binge watch television for 8 hours. It's like, give me a fucking break. I've watched my kids sit and do 5 1-hour episodes in a row. Like, to your point about streaming, the attention economy, it's the context of which that you sit and watch content, and then whether the story warrants the length as well.
Yeah. I could also play devil's advocate on this too, where like a perfect example is him, and I would even include Weapons, where I feel like the movie, if it added 20 more minutes to describe a little bit more of the plot or the storyline, it would have been better.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like 50-50 on
I'll do you
movies
one
too
better.
long or movies too short, or like are they cutting it off too early?
A lot of people talk about in that context, like the Snyder cut of the Justice League, how they said that the fact that Justice League was like so compact and so much happened that people were like, this is so rushed, and they felt unfinished. But then the Snyder cut came out and it was like, what, like 6 hours long? It was some crazy like number. And then
but also a
like,
lot of that was Snyder like just reveling in these scenes for a long time, like the stylized slow motion and stuff, and you're like, that's not adding anything.
But this is the thing. When a lot of people gave it good feedback when it was longer, just because of the fact that you got to flesh out some of the characters more that you didn't get fleshed out in the Justice League. What do you want to say, J-Rock?
Only because the way he cut up the movie didn't make sense. So he cut out a lot of scenes. Yes, it was the editing in that movie. Had it been better, then yeah, it would have made sense. But no.
I think some films also that are shorter and you feel like they could have been longer or they didn't explain things well enough are usually stacked with a giant cast.
Yeah.
There was we saw Black Phone 2 recently, and that's not a giant cast by any means.
I saw your interview.
Yes, I mean, but it was a really great film. It was a really fun film. But there were just so many characters in there that didn't need to be in there.
Yeah.
And you just think, it would have been so much tighter if you just trimmed down
focus
some of
on
those
like
characters.
The main.
I remember you were like, you're talking about the extras. Put in some extras or something, man.
But it's interesting as well that filmmakers are packing in all these big name stars. Like you look at casting announcements and you're like, this person's in this movie and this person and that person. You're like, wow. Whereas there used to be only 1 or 2 headliners. They're spending so much money on all this massive cast and then not making the money back at the box office. And you think that's where you should be cutting costs.
I mean, God knows how long Avengers Doomsday is going to be. To your point, like the cast of that is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how are they going to? They've already got this issue of an incoherent couple of phases and the Kang Dynasty, fumbling and reintroducing Doom. What's his name? Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom.
Yeah. And like they've got a lot of ground to cover to justify the change and why he's there. And they've also got 1,000 cast in the film.
Yeah, and the reason that Infinity War and Endgame work so well is because they had how many movies setting up all these characters and their storylines
to explain them. Yeah.
And now they're going to be like, this movie going to be used as a setup for something else, which will be really disappointing, I think.
Yeah,
that's going to be just oversaturation.
She's nervous already. No,
I'm with you. I'm very nervous.
Sweating.
It's like I feel like there's always a connection. There's never an end. And I understand like that's probably the goal or that is the end goal, but it's like it feels like there's no finality. And it felt like Endgame was supposed to kind of be that finality. And it's like, no, we're gonna just go on this wild tear and then bring everything together and then split everything. It's a little bit of a mess. So we don't know what's gonna happen. And to your point, it's probably gonna be extremely long, just drawing out a lot of things.
I mean, isn't it going to be like 2 parts as well?
Well, it's Avengers Doomsday and then they've announced Avengers Secret Wars. So to your point, they They have to set up Secret Wars in some way, whatever that looks and feels like. But is Doomsday going to be an exposition like circle jerk, and that's it, and nothing actually happens in the film because they're leading to something that takes them 90 minutes to actually say, okay, you understand now? All right, we're going to blow some stuff up and then the credits roll. Like, that's what I'm worried is going to happen.
Yeah. Which some of the MCU movies have been since Endgame. And
Yeah.
Literally.
There was an article in Vanity Fair that explored this question. It was from a couple of years ago in 2023. Natalie Jarvie is the journalist, and she made a really interesting point about that a longtime producer suspected that fewer test screenings during the pandemic might have contributed to the rise of 2-hour plus films in recent years. Because there's no audience telling someone that it's too long. And she cites that there's nothing clear enough than the body language of people in a cinema, like squirming in their seats, getting uncomfortable because they're no longer engaged. And I think that's a really interesting point that she uncovered is, the death of test screenings, or they're not valued as much and they're not getting that feedback, clear enough or soon enough. And then you end up with a 3-hour movie that no one asked for.
Some directors really refuse to do test screenings.
Yeah.
I don't know if sometimes movies are over tested, and I think doing a test screening is fine. Taking on board every piece of feedback that you get from a test screening can be bad because
too many reshoots.
An audience isn't the expert here. The filmmakers are the experts. So you take it with a grain of salt. I interviewed recently Max Minghella, and he was talking about how he loves test screenings and he loves seeing the audience reaction. And South by Southwest Sydney was happening here recently, and Paul Feig did a keynote, and he was talking about how during the pandemic, sort of test screenings have become more online and virtual. And he told this really funny story about how he'd done a test screening for, I don't know what movie it was. And it was literally all these people zooming in. So it wasn't even people coming and sitting in a cinema. It was all these people zooming in. He's like, one guy was eating a loaf of bread, like just hoeing into a loaf of bread. Someone just got up and walked away. And it was like, how can I get accurate feedback from these people when they're having a streaming attitude? They're sitting at home. They're not really paying attention. They're on their phone. They're getting up. They're eating a loaf of bread.
That's so fucking random.
So random. It's
such a pandemic era for sure.
Test screenings can be good or bad. Yeah.
But I think that even in that sense, it should be great, like, to know what that feedback is. Like, if I'm telling like a deep cut story about, my life experience, and somebody's like, then that should probably tell me something about what's going on, Like, I heard Zack Snyder, he was talking about he was talking about Superman, like when he was making Superman, and people were really upset because he made Superman kill. And they're like, why did you make Superman kill? Like, you should just talk to people, stick to the source material. It's like having a playbook in front of you and then being like, I'm gonna do my own thing. And Zack Snyder's like, well, I wanted to see what Superman would do if I put him in this position. And it was like very like egotistical or ego driven of him. And then people were like, no, we don't want that. Like, we like the Boy in Blue, which is why the James Gunn version did so much better, because it just stuck to source material. Like, we want to see him save a squirrel because every life is important. Like, so it's just things like that that test right with audiences. So I think that it's a great thing. I don't know.
I mean, audience feedback can be a good thing, and we saw it with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Footage,
okay,
and they had to redesign.
Yes, that is the best source of online bullying I've ever seen. Like, I am so for that version. Like, they were like, no, not my Sonic. We're gonna make fun of it.
I mean, to be fair,
I need
it
that
did
for
look
Shrek.
hideous.
It was scary.
Yes, I need that for Shrek too, though.
Yeah, so are you not a fan of what Shrek and the family looked like in that image?
Yes, I was not a fan.
Yeah.
It's not like the old school Shrek. Yeah, I went on a little rant for our podcast on that one.
She was very irate.
I mean, Shrek is such a iconic movie, except like especially for like the youth, like growing up watching Shrek, and then you come out with a new one, and then you show us those graphics, and I'm just like, what What happened?
I mean, I guess it comes down to personal preference with the filmmaker too, because there are some filmmakers Quentin Tarantino is probably a great example. He seems like the kind of filmmaker that would be like, screw your feedback. This is the film I want to make.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And if you're going to back yourself
and he
and you're
makes
going to
good
do
movies too.
yeah, and if he wants to make the kind of film that he wants to make, he's a creative and he wants to do that, and that's fine. You just need to, if it fails miserably, back yourself and go, well, I made the film that I wanted to make and the length I wanted to make it. That's the I guess the point of filmmaking, isn't it? It's a great argument. Is filmmaking for the creative who makes it, or is it for the audience they're making
That's
it for?
a great question. Now, I have a question for you guys though, in that realm. Do you think that there is a responsibility for the filmmaker to kind of cater to that audience if it's not an original thought or an original idea? Like, let's say if I'm making something from that's, if I'm making Twilight, or if I'm remaking Twilight, do I have a responsibility to stick to like the source or something like that and kind of cater to the audience? Or do I take that creative route and say, I'm going to do whatever I want with Jacob? I'm going to make Jacob a vampire. What if? You never knew.
Yeah.
Sorry, just the thought of like, I'm remaking Twilight just sent me, because like I wouldn't put Hollywood past it.
No.
Like I really wouldn't.
Yes.
That's such a good question. This is how I would answer it. Creative license is important. Artists come with different perspectives, filmmakers do, and they have a story to tell. You can use Zack Snyder as an example, but there are plenty of others where, from my perspective, Zack Snyder was more style over substance, but he stuck to that vision, and it resonated with a lot of people because comic books in its source material have always taken different shape and meaning and character and context in, relating to the decade that it was written in or whatever socioeconomical things, political things are happening at the time. But if you can't justify the fact that you've made that choice and stick the landing, then it is going to rub people the wrong way. I think take creative risks always, but convince us that it was a necessary risk to take.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take the big swing, but then back yourself for it. And we're seeing that a lot with remakes these days. If we want to jump into our third topic,
nice
we're living in an era of remakes, of course, and they're good for the studios. They're good business because they make a lot of money and they just rely on the nostalgia. It's almost lazy though, isn't it, that they just rely on nostalgia? But I think the shift we're starting to see now, especially with Disney live action remakes and things like that, is that people don't want a carbon copy of the same film.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard to get right. And if you don't get it right, you are going to get eviscerated. I think we saw a perfect example was with The Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Where they're starting, and with the Scream films, they're starting to realize we can't just remake the same film. We need to add something new to it. And so The Naked Gun, it was a remake sort of, but they framed it as a sequel.
Yeah.
I think that works. That works better than a straight remake.
Yeah. I think that there has to be. Yeah, I think that remakes are. There was an era where remaking every single thing was. It's just like, we don't need this. We don't need this. We want something different, and you could keep the same characters. We're not saying that we want to get rid of the characters. We're just saying we want something that's fresh with something that we are comfortable with or used to. And I think Naked Gun 2, exactly. Naked Gun 2 was a perfect example because you're watching it and it almost makes you want to go back and watch the originals and be like, hey,
oh yeah.
And because you see the humor and you're like, is this what, even if somebody new that's never seen Naked Guns, it's like, is this what I've been missing out on? Hold on. Let me go back. And that's kind of the feel that you want to recreate, but you don't want to recreate. You don't want to try to overdo the original, like Aladdin, like kind of tried to it just doesn't work.
A big bugbear for you is Mulan.
Yeah.
Because Mulan's one of his favorite films.
It's such a, like, I agree with you in almost every way, but then there's these little addendums. You don't want a carbon copy remake. We saw that with Psycho in 1998. It was a shot-for-shot remake that was a disaster. But then you have Disney who took a punt with Mulan. I think they made the wrong decision, but they took the music out of it. Like it's a classic. musical, and
Yes,
the film
yes.
looked beautiful. And there was a lot to enjoy about it, but it lost its soul. Okay, so you're on the same page then.
Yeah.
I am because I am a big score person when it comes to movies. I feel like they play an important part in the movie, whether it's how you feel about it, just the overall emotion of what they're trying to convey through the screen. The score plays a big part.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. Like them removing that, or even like with Lion King adding new songs that probably were in the musical but not in like the actual like Disney movie,
Tim,
also
like,
plays a part.
The Lion King's a huge movie for Tim as well, and like
you could
live action remake. Give me a fucking break.
Exactly. It didn't make that genuinely does not make
there
sense.
You go.
I'm like, why are we doing this? Like I'm just confused.
Let me wind you up. Go.
Like another one would be like,
sorry, I brought up a sensitive topic.
I remember like because Avatar: The Last Airbender is literally one of my favorite shows. And when they remade it, it's like they took the soul and they took the fun out of the show. And the whole story is about this kid who has this giant responsibility. And yes, it does get dark, it does get deep sometimes, but he never loses the fact that he never loses his innocence along the way. But when they remade it, it's dark, gritty, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, not everything has to be Batman. Not everything has to be Batman. But they take those things out and it just removes that feeling from it. So I don't know. I definitely believe that remakes can kill the project.
They can.
They don't. They're not. A lot of them aren't very memorable. I mean, you think of like Footloose.
Oh yeah, God.
Yes.
Was remade.
The original, like I don't understand why they remade the original. I love 80s movies and especially like Footloose, like that the freaking soundtrack for that movie. Come on, no.
They're like, oh, we need younger actors to relate to the new generation. No, just show them the old movie. Those movies hold up. Like,
It's oh God, we could dive in, but one of my questions I have for you guys is there a film that you are just like, if they remake this movie, then put me 6 feet under? Is there a movie that you think that is untouchable, they just cannot remake, it would just destroy you and you'd be too nervous?
I got you. If they remake Rush Hour, like if they, because I know that they're trying to do like other things, like tying it to it. If they like really like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
No words.
See, mine would be Back to the Future.
Oh, great.
Like, they've been talking about that, and that's really nerve-wracking.
Yeah. No, that one would probably destroy me.
What about Blade? Poor Mahershala Ali is never going to get his time in the sun.
You know
with
what?
this film.
They made a point in Deadpool and Wolverine. They made a point that you don't have to remake everything. Like, you know, Wesley came back and was like, hold up. If you want my mantle, you're going to take
I'm the original Blade.
Take from me.
That was hilarious in the movie. That was so funny.
That was
good. It was great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that Blade
at South by Southwest Sydney, I got a sneak peek at The Running Man, which is coming up from Edgar Wright. And what's interesting about that one is he was very specific that it's not a remake of the 1980s film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. And he was talking about how that film's just full of like Arnie one-liners. Like if you look at the if you look at the film, I think he even says I'll be back in it. Like it's just there's lots of cheesy one-liners.
No.
And Edgar Wright's like, there's none of that. And he actually said that his film is going to be a more faithful adaptation of Stephen King's book, whereas The Running Man in the 80s wasn't. They took a lot of creative liberties with the source material. And so he's saying it's not a remake of the film. It's a different adaptation of the source material. And so films like that might work quite well. And it does look very exciting, I have to say. Like the footage that we got shown, it looks really, really exciting.
I love Edgar Wright as a filmmaker.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And Highlander is being remade with Henry Cavill. Again, that movie is a very what do you call it? Like specific sort of nostalgic thing for me growing up. It's a very personal film. I used to watch it a lot. But yeah, Henry Cavill remaking it, I'm actually not mad about.
You're a fan.
Because sometimes I am. Yeah, well, that's true. I am a fan. But sometimes they can do things better. Like if you can improve on the original, then or you can take a big swing and do something different, then yes, fair enough, go for it. But like we said, if you're just going to do a shot-for-shot remake lazily just to cash in on people's nostalgia, people see through that.
Yeah.
We see through that. It doesn't work.
Yeah, we're not.
I think back to the. Yeah, go on.
I have a 2-part question, talking about remakes and then potentially people saying, "Oh, it's a sequel," or it's like a different part. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. We're now in like section 3 or 4 of just like sequels or just different
and
stuff.
There's another
about
one
it.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when it comes to movies like that, and you could even say the same thing about Star Wars, where like we had the original 6 and then they started adding more, and it got to the point where like now we don't really know how the Force works or like the Skywalker legacy and all that stuff. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about just adding more and more sequels to movies that like are the OG or like the standard?
Well, we talk about this on our podcast about diminishing returns. There's only so many times you can do that before people start getting fatigue and going, okay, cool.
Loses its impact and what it meant.
I mean, Jurassic Park was so iconic because, Steven Spielberg as a filmmaker, he's one of those filmmakers that pushes the boundaries and like James Cameron pushes technology to pull things off and really challenges himself with the craft to do something new. He's not just churning out movies. He's trying to push the industry forward. And I think filmmakers like him and Steven Spielberg, Peter Jackson was one of them as well, because he invented so much technology to be able to pull off the Lord of the Rings. Like those movies stand out and are so amazing because they were so groundbreaking for the time. If you just keep churning out more and more that aren't really pushing the boundaries and aren't doing anything new, then it just, your attention span and your excitement for it just gets lower and lower naturally, even if it's a good movie, which they aren't often are.
No.
Yeah.
I'm an apologist for Jurassic World Rebirth. I actually really liked that return to the world because the 3 films with Chris Pratt were not great, especially the second and the third. By not great, awful. And so I'm on the side of Rebirth where I loved the choices that Gareth Edwards as a filmmaker made in shooting it in film. I liked the characters. I liked that it went gritty and more like an adventure film. There was obviously some nerdy science in there to appease that audience. I had a great time. But then you've got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which failed on almost every way. So it's interesting.
Because you're just relying on that nostalgia. There's another one that's being or has just been filmed here in Australia, Anaconda.
Yeah.
Right. And that movie.
Oh, I saw the trailer for that. It looks like a comedy now.
Yeah. Yeah. So that movie I don't think it did very well when it came out. Like it's one of those cult classics, but it wasn't the greatest film. It doesn't hold up well. And so they've gone, okay, we're not going to just remake it. We're going to put a little twist on it that they're making a film about making the film Anaconda, or something like that. Yeah. And it's a comedy. It's going to be a straight out comedy leaning into, because you can't take that seriously. That's another thing that we talk about on the podcast is that action films can't really take themselves seriously anymore.
That's where Fast and the Furious definitely figured out. They're like, we're not going to go ahead and take anything serious. We're going to the moon. and
that's fun. That's so much fun, but also it's a shame because then you can get a really great film like Top Gun Maverick or Top Gun, and the action is taken really seriously and it's emotionally hard hitting and people want that too. I think people do want that. Like people are afraid to be earnest. They're afraid to lean into feeling something. Like
I think that like when it comes to those things, like we have our me and J-Rock, we joke about it, but we have our okay, are you rating this on the Transformers list or are you rating this on like an actually good movie list? And that's how we kind of.
I love Transformers. Just watch yourself there, like the Transformers.
Oh no, so do we.
We love Transformers.
We love Transformers.
We just understand that I can't compare Transformers to like a movie
Sinners.
that's like a cinematic, like to Sinners. Like I can't compare the two. They wouldn't be fair. Like, but I know that I just want to go into the movie, turn my brain off, and I want to hear Optimus Prime talk about how we're going to take it and we're going to win. That's all I want. And
Yeah. And oh my God, his speeches are so dramatic. Like
so
you don't need to
amazing.
add you don't need to add a cheesy line to break the tension in. You
you
feel
should
it and you
coach
go,
teams.
oh my God,
You should coach.
Optimus. You can lead me anywhere.
Exactly. No, I think that there is something to be said. To, like, I love a love letter to a classic, and it's fine. Like, but the buck has to stop there. Like, okay, I understand. Like, and I'm sorry, J Rock, but with Jurassic Park, when Jurassic World came out, I loved it because I was like, okay, they're writing a love letter, and then when it just they keep like spitting out more and more and more, and I'm like,
It's just Chris Pratt.
all right,
They're like,
come on.
they're like, oh, people wanted this. Let's just keep making more and more and more. That's when it starts to get cynical and you start to go,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Because you know they're not doing
Do
it
we
for
want more?
like
Do we really
exactly.
want
Yeah.
We
my
saw
second part of the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say we saw Begonia recently, and we're going to talk about that on our sort of next episode. But that is actually, I don't think people realize that's actually almost a remake as well of a Korean film, I think it is. I'm not sure. I have to check my notes. But it's wild because the original film is nothing like, like it's got similar ideas, but if you watch the trailer, it's so crazy. Yeah. It's wild. Yeah, but it's so different. So you can do that. You can take some source material and change it and be creative and turn it into your own thing. But if it's just, like if you're going to do a shot-for-shot remake, it's just lazy.
What's the point?
What's the point? Yeah. What are you adding to it? What are you giving us that's different?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, see, that was kind of part of my second question of like, we're seeing it now with Wicked and like bringing musicals into cinema and them adding or changing certain things from the musical because now that they have more time or can expand a little bit better, they want to.
Or they can address
What's your
things
thought about that?
they can address things that are politically incorrect, like Nessa Rose being able to walk
in the stage production.
Which was not, very ableist.
Yeah.
So things like that. Like I think Wicked and Wicked for Good is one of those examples that, I mean, we're a big fan of the stage show.
Yeah,
so we might be a little bit biased. But I think the fact that they're making it into a film means they can expand on a lot of things that we don't get to see in the stage show. And the stage show, it rushes through a lot of aspects that are really important to the storylines.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited for part 2, which we just got our invite for. It's going to be for the Sydney
What?
premiere. It's
Oh,
gonna be very excited.
Oh my God,
That's
congratulations, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're seeing that in a couple of weeks. And
so sick.
I'm just so excited to see the second part because what they've covered in the first film takes us all the way up to the intermission in the stage show. And then after the intermission, there's only about an hour, 45, 50 minutes of material. But they've got to turn it into a 2-hour, 2-hour plus film. So I'm so excited to see what they expand on and what they do and where they take the story.
Yeah, it brings us back to that point around creative license. And when you have the source material, the original source material is like The Wizard of Oz, and then you have the book Wicked, and then you have and these are all different mediums. You have obviously Wizard of Oz the film as well, and then you've got it on stage, and then when you adapt it to cinema, you have to understand that it is a completely different medium and that you can dive deeper into subplots and characters and make necessary important changes so characters present better in the context of today, while still honoring, its source material and what it had to say, back in the 30s and so on. I encourage it because, otherwise you just film Wicked on stage and you'd put that in cinemas. That's not what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like Hamilton.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Hamilton.
Oh my God, yeah. Don't get me started on that one. Yeah.
No, but that is true. Wow. You guys, I gotta say, that was an awesome conversation. I do really appreciate you guys coming on. This has been, I don't know. I didn't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how we made it happen. I mean, halfway around the world, and we just meshed. It was great, and you didn't end up hating me. Congratulations, J-Rock.
What has Jessica done to you? She's killed your self-confidence.
Oh my God. She's put me through so much trauma.
He's lying.
I mentioned her in therapy a lot. Like, you don't understand.
Oh my God.
This is like a form of therapy. Talking about movies is like a form of therapy. And it's so much fun. It's so much fun to talk.
Yes.
It's so much fun to talk about movies with people who are so passionate about it and love it. Like that's what we wanted for the podcast. We wanted to be able to speak to a community of people who love film, and it's not about shitting all over movies and pointing out all the flaws. It's about celebrating cinema and all it can offer us, really.
Yeah, I agree. But sometimes it's important to say
things didn't work.
Don't watch this.
And why?
Yeah, but we go out of our way to, you know, if the story and the script and the acting doesn't land, there could be something worth celebrating, like, wow, the production design was unreal, or the costuming, or the music. So important to highlight those things.
Like Tim said at the top of this episode, nobody sets out to make a bad film. Like everybody's there to do their best work, really. Yeah. And it doesn't land all the time, but that's okay. That's what art is.
That's art. Yeah.
That's art. Yeah.
And we're all not going to like it.
So you guys are great. This has been so fun.
No, thank you so much.
You guys are great. What do you mean?
Exactly. Now, so where can everybody find you guys if we want to go ahead and watch the Popcorn Podcast?
Well, we're on every good podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the usual places. You can see our celebrity interviews on YouTube.
We're also on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok,
Reddit,
Facebook, Letterboxd.
Reddit.
Yeah. We're kind of new on Reddit, but we're dipping our toe in over there. Because we want to be able to find a place where we can actually talk to other movie fans and just blasting stuff out.
What's your Reddit?
Reddit is just Popcorn Podcast.
Popcorn Podcast. I'm a big Reddit user. I've used it for like 10 years. So
great. I'm still trying to understand the rules. I'm still trying to understand the rules of it. It's a little.
I don't get it. But
but we wanted a place that we can actually. we wanted a place where we could actually talk to people about other movie lovers, really, and actually interact with them rather than just blasting things out on social media. So come and join us on Reddit and join in the conversation.
See you there.
Just followed you guys, so we're good.
Hey.
There you guys
that makes one.
We said we were new. Yeah.
We're new. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, again, I mean, we appreciate having you guys on. And guys, I think we did it. This has been the Jaysquared Popcorn Podcast.
Yeah. I love it.
I like that. Trademark that now.
Yeah.